On June 9, 1954, Joseph Welch, special counsel for the U.S. Army, famously lashes out at U.S. Senator Joseph McCarthy. But what caused this clash between McCarthy and Welch? And what famous question did Welch ask McCarthy that changed history? This dramatic confrontation played out during what is known as America's second Red Scare. Joseph McCarthy, a U.S. Senator from Wisconsin, was the most vocal leader of this effort to root out communism from American government and society. The incident between McCarthy and Joseph Welch occurred during the so-called Army-McCarthy hearings, which sought to determine whether communism had infiltrated the U.S. armed forces. While testifying before the Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations in Washington, D.C., Welch powerfully and steadily dismantled each of McCarthy's arguments and witnesses. McCarthy then accused Fred Fisher, a young associate in Welch's law firm, of being a communist. Welch was stunned. It was at that point that Welch famously and poignantly asked McCarthy,
Senator, you've done enough. Have you no sense of decency, sir?
It was a turning point. The audience of citizens and newspaper and television reporters burst into wild applause. Just a week later, the hearings into the Army ended. McCarthy, exposed as a reckless bully, was officially condemned by the U.S. Senate for contempt against his colleagues 6 months later. McCarthy continued serving in the Senate, but he spiraled into alcoholism and died in 1957. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1534, French explorer Jacques Cartier finds the inlet to the St. Lawrence River in modern-day Canada. In 1772, American colonists burn a British vessel that runs aground off the coast of Rhode Island. In 1856, the first of 10 immigrant Mormon handcart companies leaves Iowa City for Salt Lake City. In 1893, the interior of famed Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. collapses and kills 23 people. In 1939, British King George VI tours Mount Vernon and lays a wreath at George Washington's tomb. In 1973, Secretariat wins the Belmont Stakes and becomes the first horse in 30 years to win the Triple Crown. In 2023, 4 indigenous children are found alive in the Amazon jungle 40 days after surviving a plane crash. And now it's time for our Today in History quiz. How many people were executed as a result of the infamous Salem witch trials? 10, 20, 100, or 200? Liked learning about Joseph McCarthy and the Red Scare? Then you'll love this one about a Cold War-era diplomatic incident that brought an apology from President Eisenhower. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.